Take a couple moments. Ready to go? Or?
Yep.
Okay, I'm just going to pick a couple moments from Handel's Messiah. It's a monstrous piece. As I mentioned a moment ago, about 3.5 hours if you do the whole thing. We're just going to take a couple of the most famous movements, and I'm just going to spot check it for you. So you have a couple of ideas. I would suggest maybe going to the ones that are on this list, or at least one or two of them. The Hallelujah Chorus is probably the most famous piece that gets performed by itself most often. So, by all means, take a listen to that. The overture, I just want to play the overture, just the very beginning of the overture for you for a moment to show you, this one begins with a French overture as well, and the French overture goes to a fugue, just like Bach did in his suite. So that becomes kind of a convention. Just so that you hear that style one more time. That's that same thing. That makes sense? Bum bum, bum bum, bum bum. It's long, short, long, short, long, short, long, long, short, long. That's the French overture style. That section gets repeated. I'll let it go through. That's short enough. Again, that sense of processional. And this is a concert piece, not a church piece. It's a sacred theme. Often, although in the Messiah not so much, it tells a story. Like the Egyptians coming, the Hebrews coming out of Egypt is one of them that was written. Now we get the fugue. Melody. Again. Again. Now it spins out for a little while. Now. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Again. Again, the melody. Again. Spins out for a while. Ding dum dum dum. Ding dum dum. That's the melody. Bum bum. Notice how the melody comes in on different levels at different times, right? That's pretty much the definition of the fugue. It's a little more complicated. We saw that in the G minor fugue that Bach had written for the organ. We heard that. Maybe we saw it too. Okay, so that's the overture, and it goes on for a while, obviously. Let's go to, after the overture, one of the most important early pieces is an aria. Recitative, an aria sung by the tenor, and it's called "Every Valley Shall Be Exalted," and it's kind of fun because what Handel does with the symbolism and the melodic symbolism. And it comes from Isaiah. Isaiah was a prophet, 800 BC, I believe, a long time before coming of Jesus. So but he talks about the Messiah. What the Messiah meant for the Hebrews is not entirely clear. There are various interpretations of that, but Christians, of course, in retrospect, say he was talking about Jesus. So, when Isaiah speaks of the coming of this Messiah, what he's basically saying is that all the things that are uneven in the world, that are unfair in the world, that are evil in the world, shall be straightened out, shall be made plain, shall be made good again, so to speak. It's a vision of the correction of the evils of the world. What Isaiah, and various people, of course, interpret Isaiah's words differently. What the Christians do in retrospect, saying he was talking about the Christian message. Maybe he didn't even know that. And so what some of the little some of the melodic symbolisms is, for example, when Isaiah says, every valley shall be exalted. What does that mean? A valley is, of course, a low space in the earth, and exalted means to be lifted up, right? And so when you bring up the valleys, that means everything's going to be flat, kind of like Kansas, which sounds like a boring thing, but that's not, I think, what the actual original message was supposed to be. So in other words, the low spots morally are going to be made plain, and every mountain shall be made low. So the people who have power or unfair power, let's say, over us, will be brought down to our level, and we who are down here will be brought up to their level, or if we are the powerful, will be brought down, etc. In other words, the unevenness, the ethical, moral unevenness of the world shall be made plain. And so what Handel does with this is he plays with those symbols. Every valley shall be exalted, and then he sings, shall be exalted. In other words, the voice keeps going up and up and up and up and up, right? And with this little play of, so exalted means to be brought up, and so that's what the voice does. And one of my favorites, and every mountain and hill made low, and every mountain, you can just see the mountain. There it is on page 147, and the second from the bottom. There, if you look at the notes, you can even do this with a pencil or a crayon. If you connect the notes, and every mountain, you get a mountain like this, right? And hill, and you get a hill. Every mountain and hill made low. It's almost kitschy, right? But it's fun. It's a different way of playing around with music than we certainly are used to in the 20th century. But it's sort of like, okay, let's high, low. Here we go. Handel does that in another place, by the way. He wrote the song Joy to the World, the melody. And Joy to the World, the Lord has come, right? Joy to the world, the Lord is come. When something comes from heaven to earth, very often he plays with a scale that goes right down the scale. Right down the scale, right? So this kind of playing with melodic symbolism is one of the things he does in this aria, especially in Every Valley. I think I won't play it for you right now. I just wanted to point those things out. There's another one, the crooked plain. In other words, when the Messiah comes, he'll make the crooked things, the things that are unfair in life, plain, and make them straight, make them fair, right? And the crooked is la-di-da-da, crooked little notes, and plain is the straight note. Crooked plain, right? Again. And, oh gosh, is that clever? I'm being a little irreverent. But, so that's Every Valley shall be exalted. Right? I'm going to skip for Unto Us a Child is Born and go to the Alleluia chorus. This is on page 150. Do we still have that? No, right? We didn't. We just did that first part.
Yeah.
Okay. Here, what is probably most important in the listening guide, and I ask you to try to get this together for the first time, is we talked about homophony as being all the voices singing different notes, but singing them together, like a hymn, right? La, chi, ta, chi, ta, 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 ta. I can't sing all four notes at once. If I were a Mongolian monk, I could sing more than one note, but that sounds really weird. And so that's homophony. And then polyphony is where, like this, where the different voices are singing sometimes the same melody, sometimes different melody at the same time. And then monophony is where everybody sings the same note at the same time. And curiously enough, that happens in, all three of those things happen in this Hallelujah chorus. And the place where monophony happens is when they sing, for the mouth of the Lord. It's even a monotone. It's almost the most boring melody you could possibly think of. The mouth of the Lord hath spoken it. Because God doesn't speak it seems, the symbolism. God doesn't speak in these many notes. Those are for humans. Right? This polyphony is the voices of the human beings speaking about, hallelujah, the Lord has come, right, so to speak. And God is something beyond, and it's just this monotone, because we don't hear really the voice of God in any earthly way. It's kind of a curious turnaround. You'd expect the mouth of the Lord to be really elaborate, but Handel turns it around and says the mouth of the Lord is a monotone. Boring melody, really. But in the way it fits in, it's kind of cool. So just a little bit of that, and then we're 4 minutes from the end, so that'll take us home. If I can find it. Be right back. Hallelujah chorus. There is oh yeah, the Mormon Tabernacle Choir. When you do something spectacular like this, you need the Mormon Tabernacle Choir. 300 singers. All the notes lining up. And all the chords are together. Now it goes back to polyphony. This is monophony. Now it's polyphony. Now there are two voices at one, now there are three. Now there are four. Now it's full polyphony. Monophony. My goal in life is to play kettle drums on that piece. That must be a riot. By the way, I misspoke before. I'm thinking not for the mouth of the Lord it hath spoken. It is not the monotone there. It's the King of Kings and Lord of Lords. I was thinking I stole for the mouth of the Lord from for unto us a child is born. That's another piece from the song. Okay. So thank you for coming.